Does anyone know what this thing is? It's an aqueduct, right? I just heard it. What does an aqueduct do?
It carries water.
It carries water, exactly. Yeah, and this aqueduct here is in Segovia. In Segovia, Spain. Now take a good look at it. What is the predominant feature of this aqueduct? The arches. Like they say, most of the arches. Right? Wonderful. Remember that. Next slide, please. Okay, this is a contribution from the Visigoths. What do you notice about this? It's, what are its physical characteristics? It's rock. There are physical characteristics. It's very what? Angular, low, right? What about the windows here? See all the windows? Yeah, not many, right? It's very, very isolated. Why do you think that is? Well, it was that way for battle. It's that way for protection. Now, moving on, let's go into the next one. This is what they call the Alcazar, and it means palace in Arabic, or I guess it means in Spanish too. And this one lives in Segovia. Now, I'd like you, if you could, go back to slide 3. Okay, what does that have in common with the slide number 5? Go ahead, tell me. Height. Yes, height. Very good. Okay, let's go on to the next slide, please. All right, now this is a very beautiful piece. This is the Alhambra. And this Alhambra, which means red fortress, lives in Granada. What do you see in this one, as you saw in slide number 3? The arches, that's right. Okay, now we're seeing the intermingling here. And nothing is just pure. It's not just one unilateral form of art, and not one unilateral form of language. Everything blends together. Everything blends together. Okay, next slide. Here's another one. Okay. Now, yes, very good. You see the arches of this one. This is also the Alhambra from Granada. And I was wondering if anybody saw something that they could connect. What about the water? Okay, it's fuente, very cold, yes. Manantial is another word that we say for water. Or for a fountain. In this case, can anyone make a relation between maybe Roman life and, I'm thinking of, that's right, yeah, exactly. But does anyone remember the town in England that had a bunch of different baths? That's right, baths. Exactly. All right, so there's always this relationship between what's going on in one culture and another, and that's because of contact. That's because of contact. So let's go to the next slide, Mr. Bell, please. All right. This, if anyone's had detention in my class, they would notice that this hangs in the corner. This is a flag of Spain. Now, Dr. Benet has said a couple times the name of the area that's influenced most by the Arab world. What was that? Where is it? The south. Okay. And notice that there are many other different regions, right? There are about 13 different regions of Spain, and each one of them has a different culture. That needs to be understood. But it is in the southern part of Spain where you see the most Arabic influence. That's where Granada is. That's where Cordoba is. That's in a number of different cities that have been influenced positively by Arabic culture. Okay, now I want you to just focus in on that, and I want you to recognize the size of Andalusia. The size of it. Okay, and its relationship to the other regions. See if you can burn that into your brains. Next slide, please. Okay, the history of Al-Andalus. Now you can already see the connection between the word Andalusia and Al-Andalus. And I have here an image that represents, does anyone pick this up? What's the theme? What's that?
Conquest.
Yeah, okay, maybe conquest. There's what? There's a religious, there's a conflict going on here. But this is just a very common image you can find on the internet when you pull up Arabic in Spain. Right? This is something that's very common in our minds. But the truth is that there's a lot in common between Spain, and it gives us a better idea about how we understand the Western world and the Eastern world together. So this is just a really interesting image that I found. The history of Al-Andalus. Let's go to the next slide, please. To understand a little bit about how it came. The Arabs, as you know, occupied the Iberian Peninsula from 711 to 1492. Wow. Okay. For any high school history student will know what 1492 is all about. But what is it? Discovery of the New World. And what else happened? No, I think some of my literature students has been about this quite a bit. What are the other things that happened in 1492? Okay, Granada, right? What else? Peter? Okay, the marriage of the Catholic kings. That happened a few years before. Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? No? Okay, 1492, very important to understand. Not just the discovery of the world, that was obviously very important. Not just the knockdown of Granada, but also it was the expulsion of the Jewish people at the time. Right? And also the discovery or the making of the first system ever of grammar. That happened in 1492. Now, to merge those ideas, what do you think we can conclude? The bringing together a system of grammar, bringing together the nation, like Peter said, it's true, that did happen around that time. Bringing together everything, but throwing everyone else out. What is Spain trying to do at this point? I shouldn't say all of Spain, it just happened in Castilla-La Mancha. What is Spain trying to do at this point? What are they trying to do? What do you think? What would you do? Pat? Any ideas? Why would you throw a bunch of people? Why would you expel a number of different people? Fear, maybe? Yeah, you want to make something pure. Okay, you want to consolidate. This is the first attempt at nation building that you see in the West. All right, so after 1492, well, before that, we should speak, the Vandals, which I said were an extension of the Visigoth people, had come and they landed in southern Spain. Now, when the Arabs come, they recognized that, and they changed the word Al-Andalus, which means the place of the Vandals, to Al-Andalus, which also means, interestingly enough, the place of the Vandals. Spaniards, as we know them today, using the Spanish Castilian language, changed the word to Andalusia, and that is the small little region that you saw before. Next slide. This is the region. Can everybody see that? This is the Andalusia